evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome if you join us in Djibouti channels. Here are the top stories of our edition tonight. The head of state received the president of the Foundation for Education, Sheikh Mansour bin Musallam. On that day, the Minister of Communication inquired about the progress of work to straighten the effort. In North Korea, Pyongyang tests the new army with powerful. That were our headlines, and now let's get to the detail. The Saudi Minister Delegate in charge of African Affairs, Mr. Ahmed Qwatana, had an audience today with the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. He gave him a written message from Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. Also, the President of the state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, as part of the ceremony this morning at the Palace of the Republic, agreed to co-sponsor of our country an international meeting dedicated to the promotion education. The Republic of Djibouti will therefore in January 2020 host the third International Forum for Education and the NGO Education Relief Foundation. This international meeting on education will take place in Djibouti is in line with the fruitful cooperation of our country with the NGO, particularly in the field of education and achievement of the balanced education and inclusive. Sheikh Mansour bin Muslim also informed the President of the Republic the main programs and activities implemented by the foundation, which are non-governmental organizations based in Geneva, Switzerland, to support the education sector. President were the Minister of Education and Higher Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and the Secretary General of the Presidency, Mr. Mohammed Abdullahi Wais, took part at this event. The President of the Republic agrees to the principle of co-organization of our country of an international meeting on education. Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh received the presidential this morning. Also, the NCO, as we said. Subsequently, an agreement in principle between Djibouti and RFF was initiated by the Minister of Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and Sheikh Mansour bin Muslim, the President of the Foundation. This agreement paves the way for the official launch of initiatives for the head of state and the Minister of Education from all continents. The signing ceremony is part of a training pilot project on balanced and inclusive educations and achieving quality education that will promote the quality of education at all levels in the Republic of Djibouti. The President of the Education Relief Foundation, Sheikh Mansour bin Muslim, during his speech say that he expressed his thanks and gratitude to the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the warm welcome. He straightened the importance of this meeting, and he said that he gave all his support to the Minister of National Educations. For his part, the Minister of Education, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, represented the Djiboutian side in the signing of these conventions. He said he thanks to these organizations and non-governmental to their support and their effort to support us to develop and to do better our tasks. The Commitment on Finance and the General Economy met yesterday under the chairmanship of Sharmarke Musa Arre to examine the draft law adopting the financial account of the International Airport of Djibouti for the financial year 2050-2060. The government was represented by the Minister of Equipment and Transport, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa, accompanied by the chairman of the board of director and the general manager of the airport. The financial account of the international airport of Djibouti, arrested on 31st 12, have been approved by the board of directors to inquire about the last progress of the work of strengthening the transmissions capacity of the TV and radio relay antennas. This is the people's of working visit with the Minister of Communications and Telecommunication Post, Mr. Abdi Yusuf Sugi, is doing this Thursday on the high of Dai. Mr. Abdi Yusuf Suga, who is accompanied in this trip by the Minister of Decentralization, Mr. Hamad Mohammed Aramis, the Acting Director General of the RTD, Mrs. Suad Farah Adawe, the Deputy of the region, Mr. Ahmed Hassan Mohammed, but also Abdu Sikiye. This strong delegation has been able to observe closely the achievements who aims is to extend the coverage of Djibouti broadcasting to the entire national territory. The Minister of Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohamed Aramis, say that he's happy the progress conducted by the Minister of Communications, Mr. Abdi Yusuf Sugi, and the advancement of tips of transmissions capacity of the RTD. Also, during a brief speech on the occasion, the Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Mr. Abdi Yusuf Suge, said that all these foreign investments are made in order to be in phase with the requirement of proximity or access to the public services of the whole Djiboutian people, and in particular with regard to the information or all the programs of the RTD and its partners. Currently, the work is almost completed, and the inauguration of this transmitter center is scheduled very soon. After Ali Sabih, the Minister of Muslims Affairs, Culture and Waqf, Mr. Mumin Hassan Barre, went yesterday to Arta region, the third leg of a tour in the interior region. The minister and member of his delegation were warmly welcomed by the authorities and residents of the Arta region. The minister was at the head of a delegation with several of its collaborators. During this trip, the Minister of Muslims Affairs sponsored the zakat distribution ceremony and the fourth and final installment of the sponsorship dues for the year 2018. The Minister of Muslims Affairs, Culture and Welfare said in his speech that the Diwan of Zakat, which in a few years become the bedrock of mutual aid, was born thanks to the tireless effort of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. He also stressed that the success of this institution stems from the direct and above all constant involvement of the highest authorities of the country. For the past 2 days, a Djibouti delegation led by the Minister of Women and the Family, Moumina Hamad Hassan, has been in Marrakesh to participate in the 5th Regional Forum for Sustainable Development under the theme Empowering People and Ensure Inclusiveness and Equality. And now let's move on continental news. North Korean leaders Kim Jong-un has overseen the testing of a new guided tactical weapon with a warhead power. The North Korean state media said Thursday as doubts accumulate over the denuclearization process of Pyongyang. Kim Jong-un described the test as a very important event to increase the fighting power of the North Korean People's Army. The source said the leader himself guided the shooting test, which was directed on several targets, added the officials agency. Here we arrive at the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.